It has already been a month into 2024, and I hope that you're on the right track to break into cybersecurity and are focusing on things that matter most. If not, let me know so we can work together to help you get there. Today, I thought I would do a Q&A for you all and answer some of the questions from the community. Let's start off with question number 1. Is it possible to get an entry-level position or at least an internship in cybersecurity with the Google Cybersecurity Professional Certificate and Cisco's Security Operations Center certificate, along with few labs and projects? Now, the answer to that, is it possible? Yes. You want to try and obtain your Security Plus so you can get recruiters looking at you. Then you want to complete labs and projects to level up your skills and become confident so you can have a back and forth conversation with the hiring manager. The second question, being someone with a felony on my name, does this limit me on getting into cybersecurity due to clearance and levels of second? I'm not quite sure what you mean by levels of second. Unfortunately, it will make it more difficult, but not impossible, and I'll explain why. Cybersecurity is all about assessing risk, and the human factor plays a huge role in that, which is why a lot of organizations will likely add that record as a risk. Does that mean that you should give up? Definitely not. Continue to learn and document, but maybe do try and strive for a help desk/IT role and work your way up to a cybersecurity role within the same company if possible. This will help you build trust and relationships. The next question, do you have any suggestions/labs for beginning a GRC career? GRC is one of those domains that don't have labs readily available and laid out for you to complete compared to, say, ethical hacking or investigations. However, when it does come to labs, I would recommend you spin up a home lab and then begin looking into frameworks such as CIS, ISO, or even NIST, and then begin implementing them into your own lab to see how one can better secure their assets to reduce overall risk. Now, you do want to also write down your findings and recommendations into a blog to showcase your work. The next question, what is the first step in becoming a part of a blue team? The first step, in my opinion, is having a curious mindset. And yes, this does apply to everything else, especially red teaming as well. But seriously, if you want to become a blue teamer, learn the fundamentals of IT, network, and cybersecurity. You must understand what and why you are protecting a certain asset. This eventually will evolve into detection and response, but one step at a time. The next question is, do you have any advice for reaching out to recruiters, finding a local mentor, or networking in general? In my experience, I've personally never reached out to recruiters. Instead, I had them reach out to me via LinkedIn. So do make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile. Let them find you instead because they likely already have a huge candidate pool. And if they personally reach out to you, you are likely to have something that others do not. As for a local mentor, I've seen some have successes by joining community events in school, which sort of feeds into networking in general. You want to attend local events, conferences, and workshops. Do search what is available in your area and then attend them with an open mind. Show your personality, your interest, and you might find yourself a local mentor. The next question is, when did you first start to get interested in IT/computers? And when did you realize you have a passion for cybersecurity? I first got interested in IT back in middle school. I recall seeing my brother fix computers for $50 in our kitchen, and that piqued my interest. I didn't fully get into it though until the end of high school. Now, in terms of cybersecurity, believe it or not, I didn't have a passion for it until a couple years into cybersecurity. Now, I am the type of person that just went with the flow and did whatever life provided me. I am blessed that life has chosen this path for me, and now I am in love with DFIR and this awesome community. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. The next question is, could you explain what might happen if a SOC analyst misses a true positive alert? I am not sure if the team might see it and help, or if it could be solely placed on the analyst. This is a great question. We all make mistakes, and SOC analysts deal with alerts day in and day out. So it is expected to miss a true positive, unfortunately, especially if no one tunes alerts or if training was neglected. This is what we like to call alert fatigue and ignorance. But when a SOC analyst does misses a true positive alert, it is a big deal, and I'll explain why. Clients become upset at the company and ask, "What are we paying you for?" And the company will blame the SOC, which the manager will likely take a lot of the beating, or at least most of the beating, and depending on the culture and environment, the SOC manager might even blame you, the analyst, and let you go. Now, I personally have a lot of thoughts on that, but I'll hold them in as I don't want this video to be super long. The next question is, which certificate would be better to pursue? BTL1 or Hack the Box Defense Security Analyst? BTL1 is more expensive than CDSA but has been out longer, whereas CDSA is relatively newer and cheaper. BTL1 teaches you skills for a junior SOC analyst, whereas CDSA teaches you skills for a mid-tier SOC analyst, at least in my opinion. But it is missing the phishing module which BTL1 provides. In my opinion, I would say go ahead and pursue CDSA for the material and price. The next question is, should I take EJPT or BTL1 as my first hands-on pen test exam? Take EJPT for pen test, as BTL1 is more catered towards a SOC analyst. Now, of course, knowing both will be extremely beneficial for you, but if your goal is to become a pen tester, look at EJPT or even take TCM's training for PJPT, which is their junior level pen test certification, as I've heard really good things about it. The last question is, can you touch on your upcoming SOC course, whether or not we will be able to do the labs in the cloud, or will we need a computer that has the resources necessary for it? This is a great question. For my upcoming SOC course, you will be able to do the labs in the cloud because I do want the people with Macs to be able to participate. I do recommend people who do plan on taking my course though to have a Windows laptop or a Windows host with at least 16 gigs of RAM, just in case you want to build VMs onto your host. Now, this course will have a lot of labs and projects for you to build. If you saw my SOC automation project, you'll love what I am coming up with. If you're interested in my SOC course and want to learn more about it, I will provide a link for you down below in the description, and you can go ahead and join the waitlist there. My goal is to fully release the course by May. That is it for the video, and I hope you found it informative. If you did, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.